All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Live Help with Odille. So, we've created this forum, of course, for those who've watched our YouTube channel or read our book and need personal help with changing childhood memories or managing their own brain chemistry, and but aren't in a position to have one-to-one sessions with a practitioner. So if you're new to the Remmert Method, be sure to check out the links in the description of this post to find out more. So our first question up for today is actually from the Facebook group. So Aesthetic asks, how can I identify my limiting beliefs? Maybe even if I do so, I can't seem to remember my childhood memories backing them up. So thank you very much for the question, Aesthetic. And so a couple of things here. So first of all, think about the things that you want in your life, that you want to change or achieve in yourself and in your life. And then as you imagine being, having, or doing those things, notice what happens inside you. So notice what thoughts and feelings come up. Then make a note of any thought or feeling that isn't in alignment with feeling good and looking forward to it and being excited and knowing that you'll achieve those changes and goals. So any thoughts of doubt or reasoning of why you may not be able to achieve those things, add those to the list. And any memories of previous experiences where you weren't able to get or achieve what you wanted. So add those to the list as well. And then after you've done that, go through the list and spot the limiting beliefs. So for example, if you want a happy, fulfilling, fun relationship, as you imagine how wonderful that would be, you may find that you have thoughts of, but how am I ever going to meet someone like that? Or all the best ones are taken, or nobody's perfect, those kinds of things. And if you want to start a successful business, as another example, you may find that as you imagine how wonderful it will be, you start to feel a faint feeling of anxiety. And as you observe what's happening inside you, you may notice the idea of, well, what will my friends think? Or no one wants to hear from me. No one wants to hear what I have to say. Or you may notice a fear of having to speak to people. So all of these pieces are the clues to limiting beliefs, like I don't deserve, or there's not enough to go around, or I'm not good enough, I'm not safe, that kind of thing. And then as you look at each item on that list, notice how it feels, and then ask yourself where in your childhood you felt that same feeling. And remember, it may not be the same topic. So you're looking for the same feeling. And then also you may not have full memories. So you may have just a moment in time or a flash of something. And that's okay, because that moment or that flash of something is a neural network firing in your brain. And as that, it's been triggered to fire by something you're focusing on or something you're thinking of or experiencing right now, which means that no matter what it is or how vague or random it may seem to your conscious mind, it is connected as far as the unconscious part of your brain is concerned. So otherwise that neural network wouldn't have been triggered. So that means, which means it wouldn't have popped into your mind. So whatever comes up from childhood, no matter how faint or vague or unrelated to the topic, make a note of it and then follow our step-by-step video for changing it to the opposite, positive, empowering. And I'll put a link to that video again, of course, in the description of this post, this video. So, of course, if you have trauma memories, be sure to either reach out here for help so that I can help you change them, or get help from a practitioner. Or if you can't get help from a practitioner or attend live, follow my video for addressing trauma on your own. And again, I'll put the link to the description of that in this one. So I hope that's helpful. but let me know if you need any more suggestions or if you have any more questions. So the second topic for today is from Kingsley, and he was going to be here live, but he's not here at the moment. So I'll just see if I can address the topic anyway. So the topic was always expecting the worst to happen for no reason. And so this is, recognizing what's actually going on physiologically in your brain and body can help with this. So the unconscious part of the brain doesn't use logical reason and the way the conscious mind does. So there doesn't have to be a reason for you to expect the worst to happen. So what's going on is, as you're recognizing or registering data from your experience in your everyday life, your brain is referring to something in your implicit childhood memories that says you're in danger, even though you're not. So you'll notice when you watch a scary movie, you're not in any real danger, but you feel like you have the same feeling. So your brain and body are producing the same emergency fight, freeze, flight state that they would if you were in physical danger. So as you think about what the worst that's going to happen, ask yourself, how that feels. So you're expecting the worst to happen. In fact, before that, I would say, ask yourself what would happen if the worst did, or how do you know? So let's start again. How do you know the worst is going to happen? So whatever you're thinking of, whatever the topic is, and you're expecting the worst to happen, how do you know it's going to that the worst will happen? And it may be that that's what's happened in the past. In the past, when you've thought things would be okay, something bad always happened. Or it may be that you're worried to drop your guard. So whatever it is, how do you know the worst is going to happen? And then as you think of that, how does that feel? And then where in your childhood did you feel the same feeling? Of course, bearing in mind, it may not be the same topic. So whatever those negative memories are in childhood, change them to the opposite, positive, empowering. Again, using our little step-by-step video, which will be in the description of this one, and change those memories to the opposite, positive, empowering, and then check again. So then come back to what you were thinking of before and ask yourself, okay, so now how do I feel? Now what do I expect? So that's one option. The second piece of this, so after doing that, you can also ask yourself, what would happen if I was looking forward to the best result instead of expecting the worst? And check for limiting beliefs there. So I used to have a belief that if I expected the best and wasn't prepared for the worst, I would be taken by surprise. So I would be something bad would happen and I wouldn't be expecting it. I wouldn't be prepared for it. So I always felt like I'll rather be prepared for the worst. And then if the best happens, that's a bonus. So there could be beliefs like that, or there could be a superstitious kind of thing where, don't jinx it by expecting the good things. So see what limiting beliefs are there. So by asking yourself, what would happen if I was looking forward to the best case scenario instead of expecting the worst? What happens if I drop my guard, for example, that could be. And then once you have the answer to that, ask yourself, and how do I know that? How does it feel? And where in my childhood did I learn that? How did I learn that? So one of my examples was my grandmother would say, when we were overexcited or fooling around or anything, she would say, there'll be tears at bedtime. So that was a kind of, a conditioning that if you get too happy or too excited or have too much fun, something bad is going to happen. So those kinds of things. So then you change that, of course, to the opposite, positive, empowering. So I hope that helps, Kingsley. Of course, let me know if you have any questions still, or if you need more information on that. Hi, Swasti, you're here just in time. I was just about to end because the others didn't, Kingsley didn't turn up. So fantastic. So how can I help you today?
That's great. Okay, so the question I had was basically I can't create like, like safety around my dad, like like let alone like love and like
Hmm.
having fun together and stuff. So I did a due justice, I think last week, which did help, but I don't know. I'm just basically like when I try and create the memories, it's very like I don't even want to enter. Like I don't even want to like do the initial thing of even thinking about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. And so, so as you think of the memories and you feel like you don't even want to enter, you don't even want to think about it, where is your mind going? So how do you know you don't want to think about it, or there's an issue there? If you've got anything, if you haven't, that's okay. If it's just a feeling.
Mm, it's just like so much fear.
Fear. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so okay, so let's do this. So I want you to think of a box, like a chest with a big lock on it, and pick one of the memories you want to change. And
Mhm.
you're not going to think about it. We're just going to
Mhm.
put it in the chest. You got one?
Yeah. Well, I have a new memory I'm trying to create, which I could put in the box.
Okay, but we want to put we want to put a negative memory
Oh,
in
okay,
the
negative
box.
memory.
Yeah,
Oh, so I'm not trying to change any negative memories. I'm just trying to create new
oh,
ones.
oh,
Sorry,
this
yeah.
is just
I don't think I
creating
made
a
that
new
clear.
one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, no
Yeah.
problem. All right. So as you think of the new memory, then pick a new memory. You got one?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, as you think of that new memory, you've got fear there.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the fear about? What's going to happen if you have this new memory? What bad things will happen?
Um, so I'm trying to create like attention, because my dad was
Hmm.
always like not present in the moment.
Yeah.
So when I
And
try and create when I try and create it, it just doesn't happen. No.
okay, all right,
Yeah.
very good. So this is fantastic. And what's interesting is, so just for everyone else as well, the fact is that as you try and or as we think of something, or as you try and imagine something, it's just neurons connecting. That's all it
Yeah.
is. There's no, your dad actually isn't there, of course. There's no people in your brain or anything. So considering that, we should be able to just connect neurons in whatever way. We should be able to just imagine anything. So the
Mm.
fact that you can't means there's definitely references that are preventing you because your brain sees it as dangerous.
Mhm.
So let's take a closer look at it. So as you try to imagine him, let's break it right down. Can you imagine him smiling?
Yes.
Okay, good. And can you imagine him smiling at you?
Yeah. But there's this like whole vibe, his whole, old vibe was
Okay.
like mocking.
Oh,
Like,
okay. All right. And how do you know it's mocking rather than a genuine smile of affection? How do you know that that's the difference there?
so he would always like verbally give like what's the word, like challenges, but not like in a good way. It would be
Oh,
like, oh, like it was always about like school and grades, but it was like, I bet you can't get this or do that or something, like really like negative challenges.
okay, very good. So let's do this. So I want you to imagine the little you, so whatever any age, the little you,
Mhm.
and with your dad. And then I want you to imagine that, in fact, go first person. Can you go first person in the little you right now,
Yeah.
looking at your dad and how you
Hmm.
feel? How does that little you feel?
Yeah, like terrified.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, good job. So now I want you to imagine that now when you give that little you a magic wand and
Hmm.
you wave your magic wand and you start growing taller and taller and bigger until you are 50 feet tall and looking down at your tiny little dad. Can you imagine
Hmm.
that?
Yeah.
Very good. And how does that feel?
Yeah, that's strong.
Good.
Yeah,
Very
like as in
good.
I have a power.
Yes, exactly. Good job. And now I want you to imagine picking up your gently pick up your tiny little dad and put him on your hand. So he's
Mm.
standing on your hand and you can see his face. Can you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
And what's the expression on his face as you do that?
Well, this is like an evil, like, I can crush you kind of thing.
Okay, that's all right to start with. That's fine. And so, and so, what's his face? What's he doing? What's the expression on his face?
Like, now he's terrified. Now he can feel the fear.
Good. And how does that feel for you?
Yeah,
Or
it
for that little you?
feels good as like a stepping stone. So it
Yes.
seems quite mean, but like,
Yeah. And of course, this isn't real. So you're not really
yeah.
being mean to him, right? This is
No.
just neurons firing. And
Mm.
what we're doing here is sometimes we have to swing to that sort of side of things in order to lower the resistance and help that little part of you feel safe, so that she's now big. And also sometimes to get due justice. So part of the due justice technique is lashing out like that. So that's great. So now you've got the little dad on your hand, and he's tiny, and his little face he's frightened. So what are you going to do next? Or what is that little you going to do next?
Make him feel like it's fine. Like, reassure him it's fine.
Very good. Very good. And how would that feel to be able to be in a position where you're able to reassure him that he's fine? It's okay.
I feel like that's the missing piece,
There you
because
go.
his world was always on fire. Like everything was like survival.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
So his approach, his whatever he was doing to you, and saying to you, and his manner and everything
Mm.
was his way of surviving. That was his coping mechanism. So and of course that doesn't excuse it, but it explains it. So
Mm-hmm.
putting giving you that power, empowering that little you to be able to be the strong one, the big one, and in control, is going to help lower that resistance to changing the memories.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's go back to the scene where, okay, so you're normal size now, and your
Yeah.
dad is there, and can you now make him smile genuinely, authentically, and warmly?
Yeah. Now I feel like the emotion.
There
Oh,
you
yeah.
go. Good job. There you
Yeah.
go. Very good. And so now do you feel like you can change those memories?
Yeah, actually I do. Yeah, because I
Fantastic.
have like a new sense of empathy for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Fantastic. Well done, Swasti.
Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Was that it? Do you feel comfortable
Yeah.
moving forward with it now?
Yeah, it was just like, because it was showing up in every memory I was trying to create. So I knew it was just like one continuous thing across all of them. So,
That's it.
yeah.
And that's because every time you went to try and change it, that was like to the unconscious part of your brain, it was like turning your back on a tiger. It's
Yeah.
like, no, but there's this thing that's going to kill us right behind there if
Mm-hmm.
we don't look, or if we don't keep our eye on it.
Yeah. Okay. I will.
Fantastic.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, go ahead, create those memories, practice them, and then let me know how it goes and if you need more.
Mm. Okay.
Very
Thank you.
good. Good job. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, because I know it'll help others as well. Good job, you. All right, everyone. So that's it for this week. And of course, check the description for the link if you would like to send in your questions, or if you'd like to be in the room and I can take you through whatever you'd like to change. All right, everybody. Bye-bye now.